Hi, this is Mary Kay. I'm going to demonstrate this little painting here. It's a forest, there's mist. I'm just going to start by wetting my paper and putting a little bit of color on it. Even though the photo looks white, I'm going to put a little blue or a little gray blue on there. This is 140-pound cold press paper. Around inside the tape is 3.5 by 5.5. I'm going to start with a little bit of cerulean blue, and I'm just going to kind of tint my paper. Don't want to have white paper anywhere. I just want to have a little bit of color. I'm going to start with my very background trees right now, and they look like they are very pale gray greens and brownish grays. So I'm going to start by making a pale green with burnt sienna and Antwerp blue, and I'm going to add neutral tint to it. It's a very, very pale color there, very neutral. These are not going to be the highest point on this painting is this one here, and the background trees are all a little bit lower. So if my tree in the front's going to be right here, then I want my trees in the back. This is just blurring. They are softening and softening because the paper's wet. Well, that one went higher than my focal point's going to be, but it's very blurry, so I think it'll be okay. I'm just making tree shapes coming down. Some in here. Now my paper is starting to dry already, especially down below here. I can dab it with a paper towel so that I get that misty look. I'm going to make a little bit more of this color now. I'm changing the color. I'm going with the burnt sienna now. I'll just touch that puddle so it'll have some of the same grays in it. This is all blurring again still, but I'm liking the color. Really warms it up. Right now my brush here is more damp than the paper, so I'm getting charging into it. If I have 2 spots of that burnt sienna, I need a 3rd spot, but not smack in between. Here, I'll go for a 4th. Can even do a 5th somewhere, maybe down here in the foggy spot. Now I'm going to add more pigment. So it's the same 3 colors. It's burnt sienna and Antwerp blue. Then I added a little bit of neutral tint to it. I'm going to go in with the second layer of trees now. I'm not doing this major one here. I want it dry when I get to that, so that's my focal point right now. This is sort of damp, so this is coming in much darker. Just put the little tip of the tree up with the tip of my brush, and now I'm just adding branches that get wider as they come down, but not like a super wide. I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna put a little bit more of the neutral tint in. I'm gonna put one in here. I'm gonna rinse out my brush. I want to get this all soft and kind of feathery in here. So I just added like dirty water to that. Doing the same here. I'm going to go back in over here. I might add a little bit of French ultramarine blue to this and see what happens. Okay, so I'm going to put in, there's a little bit of a tree kind of sticking out here. I'm going to see if I can give that kind of a shape right in here. So the very tip is just a dot. It's spreading, it's damp, so it's spreading. I just keep getting my tree taller and taller, oh well. And then I'm adding just little branches. Now I'm going to rinse out my brush and just add a little bit of water in there to make it sort of foggy. I'm going to come over here and do a bigger tree. In the photo, it's about here. It's kind of to the side, but I'm going to scooch it over because that one is a lot bigger than the one in the photo. So I don't usually like to paint from pictures of watercolors, but this one's really lovely and playful, so thought I would give it a try. This one is going to come kind of down. And I'm going to add water. So I'm making it look misty by watching the water in my brush and using pale paint, but also adding water to it. Oh, I think it does need something in here. It's gonna have these branches coming up. I need something right in here, kind of a pale trees right in here. Again, I'm making sure it's not the same height as anything yet. This is background tree to support the focal point. It's always easy. It's like cutting your hair. You can always cut it shorter, and it's hard to cut your hair longer. In a painting, it's easy to make a tree taller, but it's hard to make it shorter. So. Okay, I'm gonna let this be drying. I'm gonna put another, let's see, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna do this? I put some of the stems on these right in here. Those turned out okay. I think what I'm gonna do is go back over this with a little bit more of the burnt sienna. and then add a couple stems down. So let's see. I don't want to go right over where it was. I'm not redoing that one. Maybe I'll go here. Yeah. Okay, let me try this. Guess that one's behind, so it looks like that. And the other one where? Maybe it's right in. Maybe it kind of does go over the top of that one. I like it when the trunks are one color, change to another color, and then change to another color. That is such a nice little trick. So it just changes. Maybe just a few like stray branches that are broken off. I'm going to put in another dark tree here so that this trunk will flow into it. Same colors, burnt sienna and Antwerp, plus a little bit of neutral tint. See, mine's still a little bit damp, so I'm gonna, as long as these are all a different distance apart and different heights, I can kind of get away with this. Okay, and put this one in front. Yeah, here we go, I'm gonna darken this. Okay. And then I want this corner to blend. Can even be, there's a little bitty like little guy here. Now I'm going to rinse out my brush and add water to that and just get it to be misty. So the water charges into the paint that's there, makes blends into it. Add some other darks. So it's kind of extra blendy there. All right, I'm kind of liking this. And now I just want to put in this tree right in here. It's going to be my main focal point. The trunk is going to go down into this fog here. So here I go. Mix up the color. So it's burnt sienna and Antwerp blue and neutral tint. So it's a gray, green, blue. And I'm going to start with the little tip of my brush, not quite as high as I think it's going to go. I think I'm going to go all the way up there, but I'm not going to start there. I'm going to inch my way up there. I'm not making this tree solid. There's air in between these branches. I'm going to go a little higher now. I'm going to try. So I'm a little scared. It's a piece of paper. It's okay. I'm twisting my brush so that it just has like that little There we go. That's what I wanted it to do. I wanted it to be really delicate at the very top. Okay. That's pretty delicate. And now it's my branches got widest right in here, and then they got a little bit smaller again. I'm going to just add a little water up here so it's like, oh, so the mist is kind of coming in here too. Definitely in here. I have kind of a opening through there. Okay, I'm going to put in a trunk. This has more of the burnt sienna in it. Okay, so I kind of have a trunk already right there, so I'm going to skip that part. And then here, and then here. And then I love that it's turning really close to the burnt sienna. I think there's water there. So if I put my trunk right there, it's going to blur into it. Okay, I'm going to try this. Here's my trunk. So it's switching colors. It's going from the dark. And I want to have a few little branches that are breaking off of it. And I want to have a little bit of this color up in the foliage. Well, I don't dislike it. I feel like it needs to just be a little bit more right here into the fog. I'm adding another soft tree with very little, it's mostly water, to make this look foggier in here, like the fog's going up. And then do I want to just leave this blank, or do I want to put a little, I think, so there's this tiny little tree trunk right there. I don't want it smack in the middle of those two. I'm going to put it to the side a little bit and see what I get. And I just wiped my brush and my paper towel. And now I'm going to get water. I'm painting with water. I think I like that little mess right there. So I think this is good. I like this little, I like the watermarks, the water that charged into the darks. I'm just going to leave this. There you go. Thanks for watching.